Grayson was on one hard boss for hours yesterday, by the way. He also successfully killed a tomato. I did see him. I checked in on his stream every so often, and I did see that he was on the same boss for a very long time. Let's see. Red Star. Sister Olga. And Tony. Mina. This kid is definitely the troublemaker in class. For sure. Francisca? Rodian. That's a name. Kren. Oh. Supposed to use this. Whoa, 50? Whoa. That's a lot. Want that to go away. Right. 200.
Why, hello there.
The Northern Sea. I'm a little surprised it's not too cold out there this time of year.
I think that's because the flow of ocean currents keeps the port ice-free.
It's like a gateway that connects all the northern countries, like Ohrid, Lemon, and Rimaferia.
The fishing spot right there.
This place seems different from the rest of the town.
These are the back streets of Messeldom. I hear this place is kinda sketch.
Makes sense. Almada's old HQ is right around here after all.
I was hoping I could fish from over here. The back streets are here, then. No, there's going to be a lot of teen angst. Patricia. Anything turn up on your end? Not yet. Where the heck is that darn brat? There's lookouts posted at every way in and out of the city, so he's got no place to run. We'll find him if we have to turn over every last rock in the street. Someone's coming, you know the drill. What's up with those two? Sounds like they're in the middle of a manhunt. Something smells off about this. Let's just focus on our investigation for now. Still need a handle on the situation in Messeldom.
Looks like someone doodled. Oh, wait, no. This is called graffiti art, isn't it?
Holy moly! Whoever did this has got talent.
Holy moly. Romeo. To make a joke about I don't remember his last name, but I was gonna say, you know, something like Mr. P let you, or not Mr. P, Master P let you outside of the house, but you know, That would be disrespectful. Why I didn't say it. This isn't your everyday establishment. Maybe not, but places like these are a surefire bet for underworld intel. That's about the size of it. Would you rather wait outside, kiddo? No need to coddle me. It's only the middle of the day, so we'll just take 3 mocktails. Right away, sir. Didn't realize bars even offered non-alcoholic drinks. Depends on the joint, but it's not too uncommon while it's still light out. Hey, this is pretty tasty. Just right for an afternoon pick-me-up. I have to agree. You've got some killer skills, barkeep. Very flattering, sir. I'm not just talking cocktails, by the way. It's hard to tell by looks alone, but you're packing a lot of muscle under that uniform. I also noticed the glances you sneak at the door and the customers. That's more vigilance than a typical bartender needs. My take's that you double as this club's bouncer. Lost for words, are you perhaps involved in some form of detective work? That's one way to put it. You wouldn't happen to be an ex-Jaeger called Robson, would you? Heard your story from Dingo. You were acquainted with him. That was a telling response. They knew each other, too. Yes, as you presumed, I am Robson. Dingo has done much for me in the past. A shame what became of him. So you already heard the news. Even now, I struggle to believe it. Since you were a close friend of his, it would be my pleasure to accommodate you in whatever way I can. That being said, I would advise you not to bring his name up in front of the owner. Something happened between them. In a sense, you see, our club's highest earner used to be a hostess by the name of Mistress. That's the lady from the Black Light District. Mistress, huh? I know she and Dingo got acquainted when he was in Messeldom, but it sounds like there's more to the story. Can't discuss this too openly, but at the time, Mistress was being blackmailed into doing the owner's bidding. Dingo was the one who pulled every trick in the book to secure her freedom. It would seem the owner harbors a grudge over it to this day. Didn't you just say you couldn't discuss this in detail? This is pretty detailed. Dang, that's a heck of a story. What brings your investigation here, if I may ask? I'd be happy to answer any questions you have to the best of my ability, Mr. Call me Van. I'm a Spriggan from the capital. Ah, the one from the rumors. I'm here in Messeldom to find something, so we're out doing a little info gathering. Have you noticed any sketchy developments here lately, particularly in relation to Armada? The police were scouring the place as part of their own investigation not too long ago, but as far as I'm aware, they didn't discover anything of note. In truth, however, the owner has worked with Armada on numerous past occasions, and you're just putting business on blast. It was only ever to line his own pockets, however, so he is likely ignorant of their inner workings. Even if he weren't, he's crafty enough to keep the police from delving into him too deeply. So he actually gave them the slip. Sounds like interrogating him wouldn't get us much of anywhere then. There are many others in this town that are also connected to Armada in some shape or form. In some cases, however, it was that they were either threatened or exploited. The only people who truly know what went on in Armada would be those who worked directly under them. But the way I understand it, each and every member was arrested at the end of last year. That is the extent of my knowledge. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more help. Not at all, this gives us a much better grasp of things. Yeah, you definitely saved us trouble down the road. That pleases me to hear. We'll hit you up again if we need anything else. Heck, even if we don't, we might just stop by for some more drinks. I'll save you a spot at the counter.
May I help you?
What's up, Robson? Whiskey bonbons.
Thank you.
That is a very big bottle of wine. Holy cow. We have Mr. Steve. Lux. Tiffany. We have a showgirl. don't think that's normally how these things work, but, you know. These ones got magical
Alrighty.
orbital powers. Come over here. A will?
It's fishing
Oh.
time.
I forgot to do this over here.
Ooh, this looks like a good fishing spot.
Thank you for reminding me. I very nearly forgot.
Let's do this thing.
Yeah, I got that.
There! That's it!
Oh. Forgot how to fish.
Nice, I got one!
Indeed.
There! That's it! Nice, I got one! Haha, let's do this thing. There! That's it! Nice, I got one!
Look. You read it. Don't you read it? You got one of them ugly dogs. About 9 years ago, I happened to lose a childhood treasure of mine here in Messeldom. I know the idea seems a little far-fetched, but I'm hoping it's still somewhere in the city. Would you be willing to search for it? Sounds like you should go to the Bracer Guild. Like everybody else.
This theater plays all kinds of movies, including independent films.
Oh, really? Then movie fans must be in love with this place.
They do hold one of the film festivals here. It tracks that they'd want to appeal to film buffs.
Watch a variety of films in any movie theater you come across. After selecting a film to watch, you can also choose who to see it with. Select up to 2 characters. Watching a film with an ally will better your connection with them.
Welcome.
Glan. A legal thriller. Let's do it. Robin, the Lady Justice. Let's choose Catra and Judith. 600 Mira. They could buy their own tickets. And headed into the theater with his company of choice, having decided to watch the movie during their work break. Robin, a rookie lawyer with a burning sense of justice, is embroiled in a case regarding the attempted murder of a homeless man. The defendant is a high school student named Eric, who is arrested on suspicion of assaulting the man with a steel pipe. He professes his innocence, however, claiming he was knocked unconscious when he stumbled upon the scene of the crime. Eric also testifies that he clearly remembers the face of his assailant. His name is Virgil, who just so happens to be a major witness for the prosecution and an heir to a large local business. The rumor mill paints Virgil as a man with a violent streak, but he has thus far eluded the eye of the law due to his father's influence. In this case, his father applies pressure on the local authorities and the prosecutor's office to give Virgil's testimony precedence in court. He also throws his weight around with the other parties involved, including the law firm Robin works for, though this does little to deter her. Unwilling to let this mockery of justice go on any further, she makes her final stand in the courtroom.
As you can see, my client wasn't captured on the security cameras until after Virgil had arrived at the scene of the crime. Therefore, I'm calling the veracity of Virgil's statement into question. I don't believe he arrived in the nick of time to stop the attack. Furthermore, his claim about prying the pipe out of my client's hand strikes me as odd, considering his fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the weapon. In light of these contradictions, I think we can safely conclude Virgil's testimony is a sham.
Don't just sit there, Father. Do something! Stop her from spewing this nonsense!
I never thought such vital evidence would come out in the final hearing! Objection! This is clearly a stall tactic on the part of the defense. It's time we brought this farce of a trial to an...
Objection overruled. This evidence sheds new light on the case. The trial will proceed. I do not want to leave even a single stone unturned. Not at this juncture.
That filthy little lawyer's ruining everything. Damn her!
Thank you, Robin. Thank you so much. You believed in me, even when no one else would. But if this all goes south, won't you be in danger?
I'll be all right. Trust me. I'm not backing down until we get that not guilty verdict. People with power and wealth are not above the law. I swear on my badge, I will not allow them to taint our legal system.
Her portrayal of a victim suffering from false accusations from people in positions of power was unfortunately very true to life. The film may have ended with Eric's acquittal, but in the real world, many people in his position are wrongfully convicted. All the more reason why we need lawyers who will seek out the truth and also expose the people who try to suppress it. Although I get that's easier said than done. That's why conducting proper forensic investigations is so important. As a researcher myself, I want to do what I can to improve that kind of technology. Watching that makes me remember how stressed I was during filming. I was going to say, that does look like her. I had to reread the script over and over again. There was so much legal jargon, and some of those lines were really hard. It took a lot of practice to get them down pat. Yeah, I get it. Even if that lawyer character was wet behind the ears, she'd still be comfortable using that vernacular. I did interviews with real lawyers and went to see some live trials in order to prepare for the role. It was really educational and pretty fun to boot. Hey, all that effort showed in your performance. You looked right at home in that role. Yeah, but you didn't slam any folders on the table and barge into people's offices and things like that. Hey, it looks like they're selling commemorative brochures for this movie. Sure, just steal more of my money. There's the break, resume work. 25? I spent 600? I get 25? Oh, a bunch of suckers. There was one up here.
Thank you for your visit today. Is showing on screen too?
I want to make another adjustment. This is not something that I... Seven hearts. Input?
Soon begin.
Might be a little bit better. Just want it to be a tiny bit slower. Not so slow. Now you got an investigation and all, but always time for movies. Absolutely. Save. This is, oh. Alrighty, so we can get Gray and the Law from this one.
Well, we're on the clock now.
Ow, just run me over, why don't?
Let me ask you something.
Go to the club. You can find me in the club. Bottle full of bub. I think I made that particular reference in Cold Steel 3 or 4. Good times.
Got a question for you. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something.
That's one job behind us.
Mira deposit confirmed.
how fast you can get side quests done when you don't read them. Hey, you found the portal. Wasn't too painful, right? This is what they look like. Incredible. And we're the only ones who can see them. I imagine so, judging by the virtual router. Though having said that, I'd say this is closer to AR than VR. Someone's in the know. You're right. This here's tech's an example of augmented reality. With it, you can find more spots like these in a handful of places around Edith and convert them into portals. But there's more. Now that it's all prepped to go, Marduk's support is finally ready for launch. And that's what exactly? Just a little virtual service we're offering to get help with things besides clearing floors in the gardens. Take a peek next time you go online, Kay. Okay. I don't know how the game wants to approach the Marching Garden right now. So I don't know if I want to do the garden or if I want to skip the garden until it's required, because it might be required. Can't imagine that it would be required. And again, can't remember if the Reverie Corridor was required at some point. I feel like it was, but it wasn't. Do not remember. Portal just sitting in front of someone's doorstep? What are all these people doing in front of my house? Stay calm, lady. There's a portal to another world right here. According to our intel, this should be Armada's old headquarters. But this isn't exactly what I was expecting. After the place got abandoned, it fell under police jurisdiction. Once Armada was out of the picture, they put the building up for auction and another company snatched it up. Some people just have too much money to throw around. Even did some remodeling by the look of it. The sign up there says Zect Arms. Wait, didn't they show up in Aracian? Oh great, those guys. For the public, they're just an up-and-coming manufacturer, but dig deeper and crooked practices abound. Rumor has it they develop and produce illegal weaponry, distribute archaisms on the black market, and more. Ingo's notebook even mentions that they were suppliers to Armada. Guess you've been investigating them too, huh, Catra? I couldn't help myself after everything that happened. Still, to think they would buy up Armada's old property. Definitely shady, but it's not like they were working directly under Armada. Yeah, all their dealings aside, the company was founded outside of Calvard. On top of that, this building's been searched by the police several times over. Can't really see them leaving any traces of Armada behind. Probably means no legacy either. Oh well, want to try somewhere else? Yes, let's. Or, I can go inside. See? You're doing a great job, Gary. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Unless it's me. If I tell you otherwise, then, you know, there's a good reason for it.
Seems like a good fishing spot.
Oh, there.
Sorry! Pardon me!
Someone's in a hurry. So much so that he failed to notice us in his way. Wonder what had him so worked up. As he headed for the back streets, might be worth taking a look around there later. You know, if I had people in front of my door, just talking, I'd probably tell them to go away. Go loiter somewhere else.
Wanna have a little fun?
Damn brat! Giving us the runaround!
You'd best hand over that briefcase if you want to get out of here in one piece.
Oh yeah? Sounds a little overkill to me. How's it hanging, fellas? Pretty ballsy raising a ruckus like this in broad daylight.
Clearly, you're no upstanding citizens if you're pointing a blade at a child. So, what's it gonna be? Wanna try your luck with the cops? Or us?
Shit, it's that Spriggan from the Capitol.
And he's got his lackeys with him.
Oh?
You know about us? Word of our 4SPGs must have clued you in. Evidently, we can't be too careful.
And let's get one thing straight here. I am not his lackey. I'm barely even an employee.
Liking makes a difference. Anyone who gets in our way is gonna end up 6 Sarge under.
Their weapons. These punks might be on the same level as Jaegers. No need to hold back. Let's beat them down quick.
Roger that.
And Benjamin.
Beginning combat test.
I have no CP on Van.
Protect arms!
Make it count!
Finish him, Van!
Over here! Over you! Your turn, Judith! Protect arms! Got you covered!
What would Bewitch does?
You're not getting away!
Our chance!
Pressure him and move in!
Initializing drive.
What a sucker.
Yeah!
Hacker, your turn!
Chance! Protect arms!
Our chance!
Protect arms!
Make it count!
Your turn, Judith!
Criminal!
Oh, I just realized what I did.
Yeah!
Go, Catra!
Still hit 2 of them though. Rude.
My move now!
You're
Pressure him, move
going
it.
to get that off unless I kill you.
Chief Developer, you're dead!
Oh, that did a lot of damage.
Our chance!
Your
Oh my gosh.
Judith!
Catra.
Here's a little more!
Finish him, Van!
The wrong guy.
You're dead!
That's far enough!
Gotcha!
Forgive me!
Now or never!
Sucker! We're done!
Yeah, Fatal Lance.
Chief Developer.
They weren't all that tough, but their firearms sure packed a punch.
Bet they did. If my suspicions are correct, those weapons might be.
You alright, kid?
Yeah. Not a scratch on me. I'd have been a goner if it weren't for you three. Thank you so much for saving. Whoops!
There they go. All over the street, too.
Slow your roll a sec, alright? It's not like we're gonna run off on...
Van? Wait, that's.
Luca, was it? You said you're looking for your old man?
That's right. It's been about 3 months since he went missing. It wasn't all that unusual at first. He'd always hop from job to job doing whatever work he could get. But eventually, I knew I had to track him down. Even Mom could tell something was up. Dad left this briefcase in his room, and I figured it might point me in the right direction. But then...
Those shifty looking men appeared, and they've been tailing you ever since.
Back streets or not, they wouldn't have cornered you like that unless the situation called for it. Don't you have any idea what this is about?
Not that I can say for sure.
That's so. Sounds to me like his pops got tangled up with the wrong side of the law.
I've been meaning to ask. You guys are professional problem solvers, right? Maybe you can help me find my dad? Or, better yet, we could all go look for him together.
Luca.
Except, I don't have much Mira on me. Aw, now what do I do?
Tough luck, dog. We don't work for free. We're not nice guys. What I'd like to tell myself.
Financial troubles aside, those thugs might try and come after you again. I'd feel a lot better if he had an adult with him, but... What's your call, Van?
There's definitely more going on here than meets the eye. But I'm sorry, Luca. I can't take your case.
Is it because I don't have the money? Or because I'm still a kid?
Nah, that's not the issue. The fact is, your dad's been MIA for 3 months. This is exactly the kind of thing the guild and police are equipped to handle. Better to go to your local authorities before resorting to some spriggan from out of town.
Holy cow, we're turning down a case? We're gonna pick this one back up again, of course. But we're turning down a case? I think we have Trails Through Daybreak history here. I think this might be the first case we've ever turned down.
I get what you mean. It's just...
That's an odd reaction.
Chin up. Who knows? We might stumble into some info on your dad out there. In which case, we'll get in touch. How's that sound?
I'm a little disappointed, but... I understand. Let me know if you hear anything. Anything at all.
It's a promise. But in return, you have to promise us not to run into any more danger alone. Deal?
Deal. You guys stay safe, too.
Innkeeper will watch over him for the time being, so we can rest easy. Yeah, not much room for an armed assault with all the foot traffic this place gets. So do you think Luca's dad was caught up in something shady? Without a doubt. These streets won't turn squeaky clean overnight just because the Mafia was wiped out. Messeldom's always been on the rough side, but that recent shift is making more waves than ripples. Luca's getting jumped might be just another aftershock of Almada's big fall. I had a hunch this would lead back to them. Bound to whenever the underworld comes up. Biggest tip-off was that photo. It was of the first Genesis, the one Anya's has. Couple that with Luca's pops having criminal ties in the city Almada called home, and it all points to one thing. I think his father was part of their ranks. But aren't all of their members in custody? Almada was a huge syndicate. It's not impossible that a few stragglers slip through the cracks. Not to mention the city was their base of operations for a long while. So they'd have plenty of spots to lie low. This just gets better and better. Bears investigating, we might learn something about the legacy in the process. But what should we tell Luca? He seemed to be unaware of what his father was involved in. Then again, he may have an inkling, judging by his reaction earlier. And no matter how well his pops kept things on the sly, Luca still hesitated when the police and bracers came up. Not sure he has the stomach to unmask the whole ugly truth. Not enough for us to take on his request at any rate. That's just the Spriggan way, I guess. What's our next move? Well, we can't afford to drag our feet with those goons closing in. No way around it. One of us is gonna need to flex her connections. What are you looking at me for? Hold on, you don't mean... The very first Grimcat and famed chansonnier of bygone days. Even as a retiree, he seems like a powerful ally to have in our corner. I'll admit, Grammy does stay on top of what goes on behind closed doors. Practically got a sixth sense for when something fishy is brewing, no matter how big or small. This day, she'll go sticking her nose into other people's business whenever the mood strikes her. Wait, I think I'm starting to get it now. Yep, chances are her sudden interest in your latest gig isn't just surface level. It's at least worth asking her about. You're not giving me much of a choice, are you? Grinds my gears to lean on her, but it's probably our best bet right now. I knew you'd come around. Shall we head to the shooting location then? Though, now that I think of it, didn't they say they were going to move somewhere else? Yep, assuming things are on schedule, they should be pretty close by. Let's take a look around. Let's check a look. His pickup truck is parked here.
Seems like a good fishing spot.
I'll say, where did you see that fishing spot? I went over here to check. That's something that I missed.
Oh, it's Nina.
You proceed will cause the main story to advance. As a result, all remaining daytime quests and side content will disappear.
What? Their boat's already at the harbor?
That document was forged, Ron. You have to hurry. As for me, I'll try to find out where they're headed.
Don't, Michelle! You've already risked enough!
Heard everyone go. What's happening?
Michelle! Are you there? Michelle! And cut!
Amazing, Nina. I can't believe you landed that in just one take.
Consider me blown away. You were perfect from the second we started rolling.
Well, I couldn't have done it without everyone's input. Oh, Mr. Gotti, what did you think?
I can't speak for Lom, but that was everything I envisioned and more! Eureka! I've just come up with a follow-up scene so marvelous, so spectacular, it'll knock your socks off!
Director, please.
More additional photography? Cut us some slack, sir.
Oh, Judith. And you brought Van and Katra.
Hiya, Nina.
Sounds like things are coming along.
I wanted to thank you all again for helping out with today's shoot. Because of you, my first role opposite Judith is on the road to success.
Glad to hear it. But you should give yourself most of the credit.
Agreed. I'm starting to see why everyone was so charmed by your character in Wolves Requiem.
That's very kind of you to say. This is my first time doing a crossover, though, so I'm still a little unsure of myself.
It'll be a challenge, but I've got high hopes for you. Let's see how far we can take this thing.
Right. We'll give them a performance to remember.
Hey, Nina! There's something I wanted to run by you.
Yes, sir. I'll be right there.
Duty calls. We'll catch up later, okay?
Of course. See you on the set.
Man, that girl's got it made. Already a star, but with potential to spare.
It hurts to admit, but you're right. Just when I think I've seen it all, she throws me for another loop.
If I remember correctly, there was a mystery in the first game where someone introduced themselves as C. And I don't know, just got the impression that Nina might be C.
I need to start upping my game before she upstages me.
Ha! Now that's what I like to hear. Seems sharing the spotlight with Nina was just the kick in the pants you needed. Stick to that attitude and you'll get through my special boot camp just fine.
Grammy! Can you quit it with the super stealth already? And besides, with how packed the production schedule is, you'll be way too busy to train me. Right?
Don't hold back on my account. Chances like these don't grow on trees, after all.
All right, I'll do it, okay? Just stop giving me that look.
I think I understand why Judith is so daunted by her.
You can really tell who wears the pants in the family.
You two are those temps they brought in for the shoot earlier, aren't you? What business does a Spriggan have with me? Something tells me you're not looking for acting tips.
Locked already, huh? I reckon it wasn't Judith who filled you in.
You'd be right. I've been wise to the scuttlebutt on you for some time. Now, why don't you share what's on your mind?
Heck is a scuttlebutt. I see. Something's sketchy's afoot, that's for certain. I've heard talk about this legacy of Armadas, but I can't say the same about them having stragglers. In either case, you seem to be left guessing. That's what we're hoping to get your take on. The way you're talking, it sounds like you already have done some poking around for the first one. You'd have to be real thick to turn the other way, assuming it actually exists. Amada's legacy has been the subject of much speculation throughout the underground grapevine. It's something of an urban legend at this point, especially now that most of the mafia's kaput. Rumor says it's a massive pile of Mira or some other grand treasure that was left behind. For a time, everybody and their mother was trying to find the thing. Though nowadays it feels like only the occasional gangster or Jaeger is still worked up over it. But haven't the police made a thorough inquiry into Almada at this point? How likely is it that something was overlooked? Good question. Word is that they seized everything from shell company holdings to assets squirreled away in foreign countries. Any rational person would tell you there's no way anything of value would be glossed over. And yet, some folks have enough grounds to believe the search is worth keeping up. Some folks, meaning, all things considered, there's only one real answer. I guess I'll choose Luca's father. I obviously don't know much about Luca's pops. Fell under Amada's ranks, it wouldn't make sense for him to be chasing the legacy himself. Okay, Zect Arms. Gonna be that new weapons manufacturer, Zect Arms. As I suspected, something about them moving into that building didn't sit right with me. They must have bought the place in hopes that a certain something of Almada's remained. Yeah, and remember all the heat those goons that jumped Luca were packing. Those were Zect armed models, the kind you can't get on the market. Common sense says they've got a horse in this race. Now that you mention it, I've been noticing a lot of guys in black suits around town. A reasonable assumption. Regardless of their methods, it's clear Zect Arms is hunting for something that fits in nicely with everything else we know. Looks like the pieces are lining up for you. I'd wager one of them will provide a lead on tracking that boy's father down too. Luca's pops knows something about the legacy. Zect Arms wouldn't openly throw that much manpower at him if they weren't sure of that. And perhaps this calls for a little digging on that front, Zect Arms started up just 6 years ago, as I recall. They're headquartered in one of the free cities, but their actual operations and what have you are shrouded in mystery. On the surface, they design and manufacture weapons while marketing themselves as a private military company. But beneath the veneer is a whole bevy of nasty business, from testing illegal armaments to inciting conflicts in war zones. The thing is, nobody has enough evidence to punish them for it, not within the confines of the law anyway. What are you getting at, Grammy? Well, now look at the time. I really should be taking my leave. And Judith, if I've said it once, I've said it a million times. As the successor to the Grimcat name, it's on you to decide what to make of it. That includes what you end up doing with this. Are these floor plans? But whatever you do, don't go making a dang fool of yourself. Got it? Just happen to have floor plans in your coat, you know, just in case you were gonna do something. She's one heck of a grandma. Talk about having an ace up your sleeve. And it's exactly the one we needed. Now we can give Zect Arms the property inspection they never asked for. Seeing Judith in 50 years? Are you saying that Judith is going to look like her grandma in 50 years? Could be. Kid went home then. Yeah, while it was still light out. He wanted to hang around until he heard back from you, but I figured he was better off steering clear. Made the right call. When do you want to leave, Van? The two of us are ready when you are. No rush, though. We're still ahead of schedule. Now, hold on. You're not planning to go out at this hour, are you? It's chilly this time of year, and the area hasn't been too safe these days. Don't worry about us. It's just a little errand. We won't be long. You sure? Well, if you insist. It's probably best to push this plan back as late as we can. Let's kill some time in town before heading over to you-know-where. Good thinking. We need to finesse This thing's so hard it leaves Grammy speechless. Have you say, Judith? Anyway, this is our chance to make sure our equipment is in order. Finesse. Hey, just popping in with an update from Marduk's support. Further analysis has revealed a new floor of the Marchand Garden, so check it out when you get a chance, Kay. Let's save Mark.